Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today's Saturday, January the 20th. We got 8 games on today's schedule. Gotta admit, it's not the prettiest of cards, but as usual, we're gonna dissect every single game, try to find an edge, and come up with some winners. Before we get to those games, talk a little bit about yesterday. How about my Phoenix Suns, guys? My Phoenix Suns, my 5-star play, guys. It was personally my biggest bet of the year. And wow, isn't it great when it's just completely stress-free? Wire to wire, guys. You don't have to worry about any freakish plays at the end, backdoor covers, or any crazy stuff like that. So usually, guys, it's not how things go. Usually we are sitting here biting our nails, stressing out, waiting for our games to win. So when we get an easy one, we'll just take it, guys, and go on to the next ones. Like I said, tonight, guys, 8 games, not the prettiest of schedules, like I said, but I think we can find some pretty good plays out of tonight's card. So without further ado, guys, let's check these games out and see if we can come up with some winners. Let's go. Alright, guys, in our first game of the night, we got the Milwaukee Bucks in Detroit taking on the Pistons. The Milwaukee Bucks, 3 wins in their last 5 games, coming off a horrific blowout loss in Cleveland, guys. They dropped their last game by 40, 135-95 in Cleveland. Of course, Giannis did not participate in that game, but still, guys, a 40-point blowout loss, not good for the Milwaukee Bucks. Tonight, Giannis is expected to come back. Also, the team did get Jay Crowder back as well in the game against Cleveland, which means the Milwaukee Bucks are at full strength. No players on the injury report. The Detroit Pistons, 1 win in their last 5, have been very competitive, guys, in their last few games. Just a 2-point loss against Houston. They beat the Washington Wizards on the road and lost just by 7 to Minnesota in the last one, which means Detroit is uptrending a bit, which makes this line, guys, 13.5 points. Look a little high. As you can see, my estimate is at 10.5. And since I am a numbers guy, those of you that watch my videos for any duration of time know that I play numbers. So in this game, guys, obviously the 13.5 points are extremely high. Books are obviously trying to lure in some money for Detroit with the plus points, which means I'm going to be going the other way. As bad as this looks, I'm going to take Milwaukee with the minus 13.5. And I'm going to put 2 stars behind this play. This possibly could even be my play of the day, guys. As ugly as this looks, I'm going to go with Milwaukee for a blowout win in Detroit. All right, our next game, we got the Philadelphia 76ers and Charlotte taking on the Hornets. The Sixers, 4 straight wins for Philly. The team is uptrending, coming off a very big win in Orlando last night, 124-109. Second night of back-to-back for the Sixers. We'll make the short trip from Orlando to Charlotte. Everyone expected to play tonight other than DeAnthony Melton, who has been out for the team's last few games. The Charlotte Hornets, they finally got on the board, guys. Snapped a big losing streak. I think it was 6 or 7 games. They beat the San Antonio Spurs last night. Not easily, though, just a 4-point win. Did not cover the spread. It was a 4.5-point spread. Charlotte, though, did get on the board, get a W. Now, in this matchup, guys, between these two teams, obviously, the Philadelphia 76ers, the big favorite here. Both teams on a back-to-back, which means we could have some tired legs for both of these teams. Look at the history of these two. Last year, guys, Philadelphia absolutely dominated Charlotte. They beat them twice. The last 2 games that they played were both in Charlotte. 135-82 for Philly, 121-82. Both wins for the Philadelphia 76ers. So if we have a repeat performance, guys, we could expect another blowout win. Personally, guys, I can't really lay 11 on a second night of back-to-back for Philly. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to look for a total play on the under 229.5 points. Both teams on a second night of back-to-back. 1 star, though. And even if they repeat last year's performances, guys, Charlotte didn't put too many. They just put up 82 in both of those games. If Philly manages to keep them low scoring, and even if they put up big numbers, I don't think they'll be able to surpass this 229.5. So let's go with the total play, guys, under the points. All right, up next, we got the San Antonio Spurs in Washington, D.C. taking on the Wizards. Both teams, guys, we know they are absolute crap. San Antonio Spurs last in the West at 7-34 on the year. And Washington 7-33. They almost have identical records. San Antonio is coming in on a second night of a back-to-back. They were in action yesterday in Charlotte. 4-point loss. Not too bad, guys. They played without Victor Wembanyama. They were pretty competitive for the most part. Victor Wembanyama is going to play tonight. It's one of those back-to-back sets that Coach Pop only plays him in one out of the 2. Tonight is his turn to play. Washington, guys, 1 win in their last 5. Coming off a 4-point loss in New York. Not too bad. They were actually pretty competitive. Jordan Poole had a big game for the Wizards. They did catch the Knicks on the second night of back-to-back, but still, they looked pretty decent in that ball game. Washington Wizards team that you just really never know what you're going to get. Game before, guys, they lost at home to the Pistons by 12. Daniel Gafford, the starting center, is in concussion protocol. He's currently listed as questionable, but I don't think he's going to play. Usually when they get in the concussion protocol, they sit out for 2-3 games. So probably he's not going to play tonight. Now, this is the second night of back-to-back for San Antonio, but they're getting Wembanyama back. He's going to be fresh for tonight's game. I'm actually going to take a shot here with the Spurs, plus 2.5. Just 1 star, though. Betting in a game where two teams have a combined record of 14-67. It's hard to handicap, guys. You never know what you're going to get with either of these two. But it's always a good idea to take the points in spots like this. Take San Antonio, plus 2.5. All right, up next, we got the Cleveland Cavs in Atlanta taking on the Hawks. The Cavs, one of the hottest teams in the league at the moment, guys. 6-game winning streak, 24-15 overall, on a big uptrend. In their last game, guys, a 40-point blowout win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Absolutely impressive. Cleveland, guys, holding things down very well while their starting point guard and power forward have been out. Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, guys, we know injured, still a few weeks away from coming back. They're also going to be playing without Caris LeVert tonight. He is expected to miss. Let's see what the reasoning for his injury. A wrist. He's got a wrist injury, so he's not going to be playing tonight. Listed as doubtful, but I don't think he's going to play. This is going to be the first game for Cleveland on the road, guys, in quite a while. Like I said, they were on a long homestand. The Atlanta Hawks, 3-game winning streak. I'm going to have to stop calling them the trashy-ass Hawks, like I said, guys. They have been playing pretty well. DeJounte Murray has been the man for Atlanta. Last 2 buzzer-beaten wins in both the games against Orlando and last night against the Miami Heat in a wacky game, guys. Against Miami, they pulled off the upset on the road. They were playing without Trae Young, their starting point guard. He's out. He was out with an illness, listed as questionable for tonight, guys. I'm hoping that he doesn't play. I like the way Atlanta looked yesterday. Not so erratic, guys. When Trae Young is in there, just a lot of crazy shots he pulls up for these logo threes. Just takes a lot of bad shots overall. He puts up stats, guys, but overall, he's not a winning player, in my opinion. So if he doesn't play tonight, guys, I'm actually going to look to take Atlanta here with the plus 2.5. This is kind of a contrarian strategy bet as well. I think most people will be on the Cavs today. This is a short number. I had it at 4. Atlanta, like I said, second night of back-to-back with travel. Cleveland, guys, really hot. 6-game winning streak. I think the public's going to be jumping all over Cleveland. Let's go the other way, guys. Take the trashy-ass Hawks here with the plus 2.5. All right, up next, we got the Toronto Raptors in New York taking on the Knicks. The Raptors just 1 win in their last 5. The team is downtrending, playing without their big man, Jakob Poeltl. The New York Knicks, 3 wins in their last 5. 2-game winning streak for them. They are at home. New York, 25-17 on the year, 13-5 at home. These two teams, guys, traded a few players between each other. Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett got shipped from New York to Toronto. OG Anunoby went to the Knicks, so these players will be playing against their old teams tonight. 7.5 point line here, guys. It is a point higher than my estimate. Personally, guys, I'm looking at a play here on the Knicks with the minus 7.5. Just 1 star, though. The reason being, guys, Toronto, it's the mood on the team, I'm guessing, is probably not the best at the moment. Obviously, they are downtrending, but lots of deals getting done, and the general manager, Masai Ujiri, talking about he's not done yet. So I'm sure the majority of the players, guys, not really that focused, probably next to their phone, checking Twitter to see if Woj has them traded or not. So I don't know, guys. Toronto, I think for the next few games, until they're done making their deals, I think they are going to be a fade. Tonight, I'm going to take the Knicks here with the minus 7.5. They do look like a lot of points, but I think they should win and cover the spread. All right, up next, we got the Memphis Grizzlies in Chicago taking on the Bulls. The Grizzlies just 2 wins in their last 5. The team, guys, obviously decimated with injuries. They're just playing out the rest of the year with their young guys. They did have a TNT game on Thursday. Lost to the Timberwolves by 15. We're pretty competitive for the most part, guys, but the end just completely fell apart. Lost by 15 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tonight, guys, nothing really to report here. Same guys that were involved in the game against Minnesota will be playing again tonight. The Chicago Bulls, 3 wins their last 5, coming off a big win on the road in Toronto, 6-point win. They did lose Zach LaVine in that game. He sprained his ankle, the injury-prone player, and a lot of rumors surrounding his name about being traded. Not going to be in the lineup tonight, guys. Chicago, remember when Zach LaVine first went down, that's when they went on their big run. So tonight, guys, I'm looking to follow this up. Chicago win in Toronto with another win and cover tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies. Chicago minus 8, 2-star play is my selection here. All right, up next, we got the Utah Jazz in Houston taking on the Rockets. The Utah Jazz, 4 wins in their last 5. They were on a long homestand and were getting the job done. The majority of those games they were winning. They dropped the last one to the Thunder by 5. Overall, though, the team is uptrending. On the road, guys, not that great, just 7-15. The majority of those losses did come early in the year. They have picked up a couple of nice ones on the recent East Coast trip. They did beat the Sixers and the Bucks, so they are playing a little bit better on the road than they were at the beginning of the year. The Houston Rockets, they were on a long road trip, just one win in those games, and that was just a 2-point W in Detroit. For the most part, they were losing, and they were losing big on the road. Not very competitive were the Houston Rockets. They're going to be happy to be back home, where they are 15-6 on the year, much more comfortable on their home court than they are on the road. Now, in this ball game, guys, it is kind of tough here. Houston, first game back from a road trip. I don't like the spot. Utah, not good on the road. I don't like that spot either. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go play. I'm going to go out and play with the total here over 234.5. 1 star. Utah, guys, the majority of the games that they do play on the road, they give up a ton of points. A ton of points. Houston's not really that much of a high-scoring team, but with Utah not playing any defense, I think this game could go over this number, the 234.5. This was the best play that I could come up with here on this game because, like I said, tough to bet Houston coming back from a road trip, and Utah very bad on the road. This is kind of a flip a coin type of situation here, guys. I'm going to go with the total play, 234.5. I think that has a much better chance of coming through. All right, in our last game of the night, we got the OKC Thunder in Minnesota taking on the Timberwolves. The Thunder, 3 wins in their last 5, snapped a 2-game losing streak with a nice win, a 5-point win in Salt Lake City against the Utah Jazz. Second place in the West, guys, 28-13. OKC Thunder playing very well. The Minnesota Timberwolves, 4 straight wins for them. Their last couple have looked a little shaky, though. 15-point win against Memphis does look impressive, but the game was actually a lot closer than what that final score indicates. It was on Thursday, the TNT game. The game before that, guys, just a 7-point win against the Pistons. They have looked a little shaky. They have been winning, but haven't looked that sharp. Now, this is also a revenge game for Minnesota. They did get blasted in Oklahoma City just a couple of weeks ago. See what the final score in that game was on December the 26th, 129-106. So this is a revenge spot for Minnesota. I don't think they match up too well, guys, the Timberwolves with the Thunder. I'm actually going to look to take the Thunder here with the plus points. I think this game will go down to the wire. It's always a good idea to have these points in your back pocket. OKC plus 3 is what I'm going to be going with in this game. And this is what I got for you guys today on this Saturday, January the 20th. These 8 games, we broke them down, we did our analysis, we got our picks, and we are ready to go. Out of these games, guys, the early game, Milwaukee at Detroit, I'm probably going to put something in on the Bucks. I'm going to lay these massive 13.5 points. Like I said, the number, guys, looks like it's inviting money on the Pistons. I think Milwaukee wants to bounce back from that beatdown that they took in Cleveland with a big win in Detroit. So I'm going to look to lay the points with Milwaukee, as unpopular as that might look. Now for the rest of the games, guys, an hour before they start, I will post on the pinned comment my best bet, maybe even best bets of the day. So check back a little later. Also on my Twitter at Pick'emNBABets. And on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video right here. I'm going to wish you all good luck on your plays. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Later.